In India, there are so many companies across several states, several sectors, several fields, and when these companies want to raise funds, so these raising funds could be for the varieties of reasons. It could be for expanding their business or clearing their outstanding debts, or it could be for anything. So there are several ways they can raise funds. One is they can go to the bank and ask for money, and other thing is they can go to rich people and ask for money. There is one more provision where a company can raise money directly from the general public. So in this criteria, a company can raise money directly from the public. In return, they have to offer the shares of the company to the public. So this process of raising money from the public, in return offering shares of the company to the public for the first time, is called initial public offering, IPO. To apply for an IPO, one must mandatory have a demat account. And what is demat account? Demat account means dematerialized account. 20-25 years back, when they used to apply for shares or IPO, they used to get shares in the form of share certificate, completely offline. But today, everything is online. So those shares today are stored in electronic format. So those electronic format shares are stored in demat account. So as I said, demat means dematerialized. Today, the shares are not at all materialized. So there are two national securities depositories which are named as NSDL and CDSL, who stores all the demat accounts in India. So demat account is quite similar to the bank account. In bank we have our account, we keep money there, and bank is responsible for that. In the same way, NSDL, CDSL has their depositories, and we open our demat account there, and we keep our shares there, and NSDL and CDSL are responsible for it. It works almost similar to that. So that's the concept related to demat account. So now how to apply for IPO? So applying for IPO, you can apply for it from your stockbroker's terminal, or if you have an online banking facility, then you can apply directly from your online banking website. I would like to tell you one more thing, that is regarding the applying for the IPO. So basically you can apply from your stock trading broker's terminal and also from your online banking facilities. So once you apply, so you get an UPI mandate. Let's say you apply for one lot and it's costs around 15,000 rupees. So you get a UPI mandate for 15,000 rupees. So after accepting the mandate, after paying it, so the corresponding 15,000 rupees will be blocked in your account. So there will be some days for the application. After some days, there is a day called allotment day. That is quite similar to the results day. So that day you get to know that the shares have been allotted to you or not. If in case the shares are allotted to you, then the amount which are blocked will be transferred to the company, and the shares that are allotted to you will be transferred to your demat account. If in case the allotment is not in your favor, that if you are not allotted with shares, then the amount that was blocked while applying for the shares will be reverted back to you. Now let's take some illustrations. So let's say a company named ABC is doing their IPO, and there are so many people who have applied for it. So after some day on allotment day, a few people got allotment and few didn't. So now all the people who just got allotted with shares, now the shares are lying in their demat account. Let's say after some days or some months or some years, now they have to sell their shares and get back their money, right? So the main intentions of buying something is to sell at a higher rate. So if now they have to sell their shares, to whom they can sell, and how can they sell, and by then where can they sell? That's where the concept of share market begins, a market for shares. If you have observed very closely, so while applying for the IPO, there are so many people who didn't get any allotment. So at any given time, there are some people who want to sell the shares, and there are some people who want to buy the shares. So this marketplace, which is called a share market, helps both the buyers as well as sellers to exchange what they don't have and make it trade. So that is how the concept of share market began. Now you are clear with what is IPO, the definition of it, and then what is demat account and the concepts regarding the demat, and then finally how to apply for the IPO and the entire process of it, and again how the concept of share market began. So I think you are clear with all these things. So other than that, actually there are few key points that have to be told in order to understand clearly the concept in the part 2. So that is, as I explained about the stock market, there are two stock exchanges in India. One is BSE, Bombay Stock Exchange. Another one is NSE, National Stock Exchange. So these are the two stock exchanges in India where you can trade. And the market where the initial public offering takes place is called primary market. And after getting the shares from the IPO, so when the buying and selling of those new shares happens, so that is basically in the stock exchange, stock market, that is called as secondary market. While applying for the IPO, you cannot apply for random number of shares that you wish to. Instead, so the company itself makes a group of shares called as lots. So you have to buy in lots, and they have made in such a way that each lot cost around 15,000 rupees. So this is the point to be remembered. And before an IPO, a company would be called as private limited company, but after the IPO, it will be called as public limited company. And the last key point and the most important key point is, after this entire process of IPO, even after the allotment day, there is one day that is fixed called as listing day. That is the day when the new shares that are allotted from the IPO can be traded in the stock market. So if in case you applied for the IPO and you didn't get the allotment, and if you want to buy that share, you have to wait till the listing day. On the listing day, there are so many sellers who want to sell the shares, and from the share market, you can buy the shares. And that particular day is called as listing day. Hope you understood all these things very clearly. So now, okay, you understood what is IPO, what is stock market, how to apply it, each and everything, but there are a lot of companies who are issuing the IPO. Do you think each and everyone will apply each and every IPO? I can hear the answer. It is definitely not. Everyone don't apply for every IPO. There are some set of IPO which are blockbuster, which is going to give very good returns. But how to choose those? How to select those? So if you want those strategy and if you want the skill of doubling your money in IPO, kindly stay tuned for the part 2.